Oh, okay,
Hey,
he's here. Hi, how's it going?
pretty good. How are you?
Good. So yeah, I just finished watching that whole thing and I'm confused at a few points, but I think you killed it, honestly. So from your perspective, what happened with the baited podcast? Because I don't know how much I trust Keemstar's like telling of those
Yeah.
events.
So
So
I say there's only 10, and then the two most recent canon episodes of Baited. The first 10 episodes are Keemstar's redemption arc, because obviously he was exposed by Leafy and Grade, and all the stuff they said about him was, for the most
mhm.
part. There were some valuable criticisms in like fake allegations and all this other shit that didn't really matter. So that 10 episodes was him talking to Boogie, him talking to H3H3, and then ultimately debating Leafy and winning. And with that, he won his audience back. This was a redemption arc. It was an interesting story as it was unfolding.
Mhm.
But when episode 11 aired, well, that was it. There wasn't any more value.
Mhm.
Let me. Am I loud on your stream too? Maybe I should. Is this better?
I don't think you're I don't think you're I mean, I think you sound good to me, but
Okay. Because I
yeah.
was loud word on that stream. Like like they had my audio cranked up.
Yeah. No, I think honestly, I think they just are idiots when it comes to audio. Yeah, so anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
So yeah, that was it. And I think what happened was because they did one episode and it wasn't very popular. It was like the sponsor episode. And
Mhm.
Keem is a very reactionary. I'm not using that word right. Basically, when things happen, Keemstar jumps to ultimate conclusion real fast.
Mhm.
So, oh, an episode didn't perform well. The podcast is dying. Let's go out on a high note. And then whilst that's happening, yeah, there's the splits. Clown came in and said it should be even splits. We're all doing work. We're all like this podcast is all of ours. Everyone should just be making an even split. Keem is correct that he was the one who promoted the podcast the most. And Clown wasn't like, oh, I want that 3%. He was, I want Tommy to get that 13%. And that's the argument. And Tommy said, look, I'm okay. I just want the podcast to continue. I don't care about that percentage. And Clown fought with it. And then after that, it turned into this slinging muckraker debate where Keem was like, Tommy can't support his family. Tommy's kid's gonna die. And then Tommy's like, all right, you're a cokehead, MLG ho, F slur or whatever, and they just started going back and forth. But
So
obviously this
Keemstar
time,
started it then with
I
the
think Keemstar decided the podcast was over, and then he just took it upon himself to end it.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, one of the claims that Keemstar made during that was that Tommy basically was slandering him, was lying about him, saying that he had like kilos of coke in his house around
Mm-hmm.
his daughter and all that. I feel like the way he presented it, he didn't say anything about himself slandering Tommy C right beforehand. That's
Oh
insane.
no, yeah, no. The two of them were going back and forth. This was a slinging contest, and like it's Tommy up against Keem at his apex. Like this
Yeah.
was a big time for Keem. It was
Yeah.
not going to work. Like he was never going to win, which is why it's funnier that right now they can't fire him because the consensus among Lolcow fans is that they want Tommy to stay. So Keem is in a unique position where he has to create a way for Tommy to leave the show or swing the fans so they can get him out because this time it's not as simple as you're fired.
No, and I think all the content creators I've seen are on Tommy's side as well. What doesn't make sense to me is that Keemstar was so upset about Tommy saying that he had kilos of coke around his
I don't
daughter.
even think it was kilos of cocaine. I think he just said that like this guy smokes. I think the thing was he went and he did a line before the baited podcast episode to get amped up. I think that's been twisted into kilos of cocaine, but I could be
Mm,
wrong about that. I think the
okay.
story was literally related to the podcast. That Keem walked away. You could hear him doing a sniffing sound, and he came back and he's amped. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
That was how I remember it. But there
Yeah.
obviously could be stuff I'm misremembering.
So why even work with him if he was that offended by that?
Because it's been 5 years, you know. It's more than five now,
I
right?
know, but yeah, like
2016 is 8 years.
I get that, but like if Keemstar was that offended by it, like he's acting like he's still
Well, I
offended
mean, he
by it,
hired
right?
Def Noodles recently,
Oh, that's true. I
and Def
suppose that's
Noodles
true.
sued him more recently. Listen, there's a yes, I agree with you. In a normal world, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. But like, even I find myself doing it, where I just can't hold grudges against these people I know off the internet forever. Like, I was
Yeah.
talking to Elvis the Alien the other day, before, like, obviously, like, the night before he gets blown out by all the commentary people. I didn't really notice. I didn't really jump in and help with that because I've kind of forgiven Elvis for any of our microaggressions in the past. And I'm talking about Bunty King.
Yeah.
Hearing about how
Microaggressions,
Bunty's happy and he's got a family, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm really happy for that guy. And anyone who knows me knows I have a rich history of making fun of Bunty King.
Yeah.
He was like my tipster before tipster.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so was Connor really bad at editing like Keemstar said he was, or?
No, the D-Max was bad at editing. Connor did Connor did exactly what the new editor, I think, in a lot of ways is worse. He might have done better things for the podcast to grow, which they'll scoff at me saying it like that, but I think the new editor produces content that's almost completely unwatchable to the people who actually watch that show. I think Connor did a great job. Yeah. Connor didn't do the shorts in the month of December or something, very much like the new editor did. You, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, did you know the editor was fired while I was talking to Boogie?
I did not know. I know it happened during that stream. I didn't know when exactly it happened.
He was fired an hour before I got in the call, and they were acting like he was still employed. I found out after I got out of the call he was already been fired for an hour.
That's crazy. So, I don't understand why they seem to have a really complicated setup. Like, why are they doing I'm hearing that, like, they all have to send their audio recordings to the editor or whatever, and, like, they're doing it through Discord. It makes
this is my fault. This is my fault. I wanted them to do it differently. I wanted them to not do it the way that... So, now recording. Have you ever seen how they record? Do they have a bot in Discord who talks, and then he cuts the whole audio together?
I've seen that.
I like 3 separate audio tracks where people are giving the best quality audio they could produce. When I got the podcast, because... Do you know the lore, how this podcast even got posted and started? They filmed a pilot episode, right?
Okay.
4 months or 3 months earlier, so maybe even 2 months earlier. And it wasn't going anywhere, and it was being mismanaged by a person who wasn't supposed to be part of the project. And nobody was taking initiative. This is why the farmers even existed, because it looked like these guys couldn't even handle hosting a podcast. And I threatened to leak that recording if they didn't make a pilot episode, and they did, and then the podcast was successful after that. But the pilot episode was recorded the way that they used StreamYard, like a live streaming software, to put 4 cams on the screen and record that way, and all the audio quality sucked dick, and it was just it didn't look professional. And I said, no. You will all record your camera, the audio, you'll do 1, 2, 3 clap, and then you will send it to an editor who will make it look good. They don't have to do that anymore because at this point they're just a streaming channel. But I think that's how a podcast should operate.
Yeah, I mean there are better services than StreamYard, right? That they could probably use to. But yeah, I just feel like it's so complicated. But yeah, I mean if they're just doing live stuff, somebody will probably still be editing clips though, right?
Well, if they fired the editor, not anymore. I don't know who's going to do that now.
Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah.
The idea was the editor produced shorts and the cut down segments, but I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Okay, now you've started a rumor that I use StreamYard. Please, I do not use StreamYard, chat. Stop.
We're not in StreamYard right now.
No, we're not. We're in Discord. Okay. StreamYard is for people who don't know how to use OBS. Correct.
Hold on. Can I say a slur on your stream?
Yeah.
Kill yourself, Dev. Okay, thank you.
Okay, wait.
Is that tipster? That will not go unnoticed. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay, all right. Well, I know Dev is getting canceled to hell right now, so I don't know what's going on.
Who's getting canceled?
Dev is. Dev's being canceled really fucking hard. I don't know. I think he pissed off a bunch of conservatives on Twitter.
For Dev, I think 1 in 5 tweets are really good.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's a good compliment, I guess. 1 in 5.
Okay. So, do you think Keemstar's baiting commentary by insulting all of commentary and saying you guys are
he wasn't insulting all of commentary. You're not in the Twitter group chat, right?
No, I'm not.
He was just reading all my messages. This is the argument we were having in the group chat. All of the things he said came out of my mouth. Yeah.
Damn.
Because I was telling him that. I can go through and tell you, does this sound familiar? Where is it? Here it is. That's not what your fans think. You're a fans guy. You're a comment guy. I'm a views guy. If Boogie doesn't fake cancer, this show is on the operating table and bleeding. Destiny saved your podcast. Boogie being a animals by pure happenstance saved the show. This is what he's complaining about on stream.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, it sounded like he was saying that there's all of commentary is behind Nick and Nick is doing all this propaganda. So I made a propaganda poster. I don't know if you saw it. It's probably the stupidest thing I've ever made. But okay, so
I thought it was funny. To be fair.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had another thing written down here.
I'm gonna retweet that.
He's complaining that Tommy was speaking on his stream about how Keem wanted them to react to it, and this clearly upsets Keem because he sees it as tanking the content for the podcast. Yeah, the NDA. What's with the NDA? What's the deal with that?
So I think I think to preempt the NDA, I think Keemstar wants to fire Tommy. And I think if you go to the subreddit and scroll for a couple seconds, you'll see why that's become hard. Because the audience likes Tommy. I mean, they even did a poll on the stream while they were lampooning him for their 50th attempt to say that Tommy interrupts people in episode 1 of the show, and 70% of the people wanted him to stay in the stream. So they can't just fire him. They need to come up with an excuse on why Tommy has tanked the show. So they'll do stuff like they did tonight, where they'll fire up a stream on nights where Tommy's got things going on and he cannot get to the thing, knowing Tommy can't be there to defend himself, so they can be like, wow, why is Tommy not here? That's what I think the show is orchestrated in a way that they knew that he couldn't come on tonight. They pretended that they didn't, and they f***ed him on stream. That's what I think when I think the drama is fake. I think that's fake drama. Now, to get to your actual question, can you just repeat? I'm like there. I just need to.
Yeah. So like, what my question, very non-specific, was what's the deal with the NDA?
Yeah. Okay. So from where I just was, I think the NDA is an excuse to fire Tommy because the NDA is not enforceable. You can't make someone sign a paper saying you can't discuss wages. That's illegal in the United States, and it's not enforceable in Germany. This is an NDA that cannot be legally followed through upon. What it is an opportunity to say, Tommy broke the NDA. I don't feel comfortable with him on my show anymore. I want him out.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense what he's saying about like finances. Like he brags about the finances all the time.
Yeah, the incident was my fault. Why he even had the opportunity to fuck Tommy on this one.
It's your fault. Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you that too briefly.
Yeah.
So I went on stream because Keem implied that Boogie was making $10,000 a month from Lolcow, and I'm like, that's not true. No. $10,000 a month is that would be they would be making $40,000, more than that, probably $42,000 per month to be making it, and they're competitive with my second channel on YouTube. There's no way they're making that much money. I don't believe that at all whatsoever. Yeah. They're making $10,000 a month, and I run a channel that makes that, so I know what I can see that. So I said, yeah, that's not true. And I think Tommy told me that he made $2,000 this month, and then they cut into that with what's it called? And they cut into that for the thing. So I got maybe he made like $1,500 or something. So Keem calls me. He goes, "Why'd you lie on your show?" And I went, "What?" He goes, "Well, you said that Tommy made," and I can say this because he said it tonight, 20,000, and then it got cut. First of all, that's before the cut, and they'll be getting whatever's left over this month. Second of all, Tommy made 2,100, and then I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait a minute, because I said Tommy told me, because I thought, how else did I know how much Tommy makes? And then I go, wait, if Tommy told me, why did he give me the wrong number? So I asked around, and Xylee and Smaggle both knew the number too. And I'm like, where did this come from? And then somebody sent me a clip, and I posted it to Twitter, where Keem goes, Boogie makes 10,000, closer to 20,000 a month, and he can't come on a trip with us or something like that. And I was like, wait, oh, okay. So Keem leaked the info about the money. Oh, okay, I got it now. And it came out of his mouth. So he ran with the fact that I said that Tommy told me, when in reality, if you take the 10,000 number that he put and divide it by 5, because the editor makes $2,000, spoiler alert, it's exactly where I got the number from. And he goes, oh, okay, that's understandable. But he brought it up on stream today like he didn't already know the answer.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess one thing that really bothered me is that this is kind of stepping away from that, but one thing that really bothered me is like Boogie is acting like Tommy C doesn't deserve like a vacation, right? Or like, what is he doing on vacation? Why is he on vacation?
Because Boogie has no family that loves him.
Yeah.
Boogie has nothing, and Boogie doesn't leave his house. If Boogie wanted one night off from Magic the Gathering, he probably wouldn't take it because he has nothing that he values more than his.
Isn't he
honestly, when he says like the
podcast
podcast isn't, I take the podcast more important than my girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, I figured that. Your girlfriend's like a.
Yeah.
She's a visual teenager.
Yeah, no, she is. Like, he's the one who left early for that Comic-Con, right?
Yeah.
And, like, also, like, even if you think that Tommy doesn't deserve like a vacation or whatever, right? Does his wife and children deserve a vacation? I feel like they do, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, geez, dude. Somebody's asking, please ask him if Boogie should be taking a dirt nap. That's. I don't think he's gonna say yes to that. Have you heard that clip? The Ghost Politics clip? Have you heard the Ghost Politics clip?
No.
Oh god, it's from like a decade ago, and it's so good. Wait, M60, can you send that to me really quick? Oh my god, it's so good. I need to have you listen to it because it's like one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Let's see if it's actually still on M60's thing. Let me see. Oh, I found it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna share this to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Sorry for the dead air chat. Okay.
Let me see. I'm in.
Okay. All right. Just listen, because it's the audio, okay?
We got happy birthday, Boogie. What is it? We got happy birthday, Boogie. What is it? Boogie's birthday, for Christ's sake? Did he make it to see another year? I mean, is there a God, really? I mean, the reason I say that is because we got people like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, I could talk countless people who have been taken before their time, geniuses, people who brought something to the world, for Christ's sake, and yet God allows fat pieces of loser garbage like this to just waddle their fat asses around the earth, contributing nothing but degrading the goddamn mental capacity of man-children throughout the world. I mean, is this God's joke? Is this God's joke? Is this a joke, God? I mean, you let people like freaking Boogie just, their just run amok out here while you take away folks that are actually contributing and actually enlightening people. I'm sorry. These are questions that have to be asked.
Oh my god, dude, it's so good.
That's great.
Like one of my favorite parts is like just at the beginning, he's like, "Happy birthday, Boogie!" Like he's so offended just by like that somebody typed that in his chat. Like, "Happy birthday, Boogie!" Oh my god, it's so good. I'll send you the link because the whole thing is like, it's just amazing. But yeah. Wait, is this the same dude who went on that huge rant about Ethan Ralph? This is the same dude who issued a list of demands to Ethan Ralph. And one of the things on the list of demands was find a black guy named Edward and call him N-word.
Oh my god.
It's funny because N-word sounds like Edward, kind of. It sounds like you're saying Edward with a cold or something. I don't know. And he also, one of the things he said was like, do a sweating to the 80s routine or something. Like, you're dealing with the capitalist army. Yeah, oh my god, it's so good. I've watched Ghost Politics for years. He's so good. Yeah, it's very, very funny. Yeah, but he says basically in this that he thinks that Boogie should take a dirt nap.
Christ, man. And since it's Boogie's birthday, why don't we give his wife a treat and have her undo the dick hole? Never mind. Anyway, I'm just saying she's got that black friend. And look, let's be honest. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know what the hell's going on in Boogie's personal life, but that picture of his wife, friend, the black friend, and of course, supposedly he's gay, and of course, I'm sure Boogie believes that. If you want my opinion, I think Boogie, because he's very, very immobile, So once he lays down to sleep, all the woman has to do is just literally, get pounded in the living room. And what is Boogie going to do? I bet you he needs help up from the bed. So he's not going to get up and go, "Hey guys, what are you doing? What are you doing here? That's my girl." That's
funny.
Anyways, there's like a whole another like 4 minutes. Yeah, so that's Ghost Politics. But anyways, I feel like they should listen to that on Lolcow Live. That would actually be really funny if they listened to that live. And then maybe like Boogie can confirm if he got cucked ever. Okay, so what does Boogie even do on Lolcow Live? Like, does he, like, he's talking about how like nobody else does work, and he's talking about how nobody has work ethic. And I remember him like purposely tanking a job interview. So I feel like he's like the last person to talk about work ethic. Like, he's entertaining. I'll give him that. He's very entertaining. But yeah, I don't know about the work thing.
Boogie just sends me, dude. I don't know. I think this guy is like evil. I think this guy's an evil
think he's
loser
evil?
who needs to. Yeah, I think he's a legitimate evil, manipulative loser who's trying to finish off his life in like any way possible, knowing that he can't just do it as a content creator anymore.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, yeah. Well, anyways, those were all my questions. I don't think I have any other questions other than like, how are you? How's the pinball setup going?
I'm good. I was streaming it. You're lucky I didn't come in here with it because it would have been loud and annoying.
Oh, that would be so cool. I don't know.
I,
feel like
I was
would
actually
enjoy
talking
it.
to Beckett, and Beckett was like, "Holy, I can hear everything." I'm like,
Yeah. Nice.
I'm sorry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. That's
But
cool
it was
though.
fun.
So you have like a
Yeah,
whole ball setup?
Yeah,
For
I was
streaming now?
joking with Lyrix. I was like, how is Lyrix gonna copy this one?
Ooh. Yeah. Interesting.
I'll send you a picture of this stream. Here it is.
Does he copy you on a lot of things? Is that the joke or?
I mean, I joke because I stole URR from Fud Logic, and then he stole it from me. Therefore, it's
Oh.
mine, and he took it.
Nice. Okay.
Here, this is what I was doing while I was talking to Beckett. Here we go. Sorry, I had like looping audio there for a second. How unhinged is that?
Oh, that's so cool though. That's awesome. Like
It
it's
was
a little.
I just did it on Twitch. It was a little test. I don't have everything all set up
Yeah.
yet.
That's so cool though. It's a little unhinged, but I think it's actually really unique.
But imagine if I like get a crazy drama clip or something though, and then I just like hit like an insane shot in pinball.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You'd have like all the sound effects in the background. It'd be like great like audio pollution while people are trying to listen to drama.
Yeah.
It'd be perfect. Oh, chat wants to see. Let me show chat. Chat, 1 second. Okay.
Can you ask Nick what he thinks of flamenco and still, what he thinks about flamenco, still thinking about it every day all these years? I've given this rant 100 times. Flamenco lives on Groundhog Day. Every day he wakes up, it's the worst day of his life, and he has to relive it by fighting with every random person in every chat he enters. So I don't necessarily blame him for that. I think he's sick.
Yeah, I will say a lot of like your biggest enemies seem to make appearances in my stream chat, which I think is super funny.
None of them are here tonight.
They were here. I bet they're just
Not
hiding.
talking at the moment. But if Flamenco was here, he would respond to that 100%. He would be in the chat talking.
Yeah.
When I do real streams, that top one isn't going to be chat. It's going to be me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have audio in, so the actual game audio plays like low in the background off the headphone jack. And the bottom one, I want to try to make that clearer. This is my plan, because you're going to want to read the DMD. That's the screen, the scoreboard, mini modes, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I can just pop that out, and I can pop a video in if I'm doing React content, like a schizo.
That's cool.
But yeah, I had it in 60 frames, so the ball looks like it's flowing pretty well. I can go up to 120, but I don't think that's necessary.
I don't know what that means, but
It's frames. It's just how your eye perceives smoothness of the ball moving.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when you're doing a game. Have you ever played like a video game that's like a shooter before? I know you're kind of into like the Stardew Valley stuff.
Yeah, and that's only recently. No, I haven't really played much shooter games. Well, I played Left 4 Dead, actually. That was a good one.
Yeah, so your eyes will perceive differently if a game is running at 30 and 60 frames. It's just a smooth factor that looks like it's... 30 looks more close to like real life. 60 looks a bit smoother, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain.
Oh, you know what? I think I don't like 60. I think that's the one that freaks me out.
It's just too smooth?
Yeah, it's too smooth.
There are people like that, yeah.
It's like when somebody has like an HD TV at their place, and I'm like, I can't watch any movies on this. I can't watch anything on this. It freaks me out. Yeah. It looks fake. Everything looks fake.
Yeah. All right.
Somebody says
you got any
that
other
this is...
questions? Or...
Oh, no. I was just going to read a comment. Somebody says, honestly, this is 10 times more entertaining than Lolcow Live. So true. We should, like, absolutely create our own Lolcow Live. We can...
You know what I don't like?
What?
I hate when people pander to, like, but look how many viewers we have thing. It's like, that's because, like, with King of Nothing, it's like, my video did really well. It's like, yeah, it doesn't mean that all the information that you put in it wasn't wrong. Like, I'm glad that people who hate him liked your video, I guess. The thing is with viewership... Obviously, Destiny is to blame for a lot of the viewership in the last few weeks by daring to take the plunge into arguing about Boogie's cancer. Because no one else was willing to do it. Nobody even considered doing it. And it was a huge deal that he came out and he said what he said, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you get gifted something that makes your channel triple in size in viewership wise. Like that's the time where you go, okay, how could we improve the show so we can retain some of these new guests and stuff and really come to the conclusion that like how do we make our show better so we can continue to get where we are? What can we learn from this? What Keem took away is the show is just as successful as ever and they're finally hitting their stride, not realizing the inevitable downwind you're going to get after people stop fighting Boogie about his cancer.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly am surprised that Keemstar didn't really take that into consideration, given he's been doing this for so long.
No, he was just excited to live in the moment, and he didn't really take anything away from it. And now he walked away thinking that, like, Wings, him, and Tommy were responsible for all that insane Boogie content. Like, sure, they were on the stream, but without Boogie faking cancer, they're going to be talking about Keemstar's 4th of July party.
Yeah, I mean...
There's no content there.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I agree with you. I think the cancer thing, like, obviously it wouldn't have happened if Boogie didn't lie about having cancer, but it also wouldn't have happened if Destiny didn't have like the balls to actually question whether somebody actually has cancer, right? So like nobody wants to do that. And then Metokur came on and started questioning about whether he was abused as a child or not, and I just couldn't I couldn't do that one. That one was too much. So yeah. But yeah, one thing I do think that like Boogie bases all of his opinions of people based off of like what food he associates with them. Like somebody was telling me, somebody who's at the July 4th party was telling me that when they were there, Boogie was just there eating like endless hamburgers. And so I was thinking it makes sense that he will do anything for Keemstar because he just associates him with endless hamburgers. On the other hand, like Mutahar, you know, like he doesn't like spicy food, right? He doesn't know Mutahar very well. So I think he just associates him with Indian food, which is, you know, wild. But yeah, I mean, I wonder what kind of like food he associates with Destiny or with like
he looks at Keem and he's like, wow, this is the one thing that gives me joy in life, hamburgers.
He just remembers eating hamburgers. Yeah, man, I still stick by that theory. I came up with that theory like weeks ago and I don't think anybody really believed it, and I think I'm right about it. So what do you think about Foodie Beauty being on the show on Lolcow?
They should have her on. I think didn't I have her as a cameo in that Mama Max thing that you were in. I forgot if that was her. There's two of them that remind me of each other.
I think it was her. Yeah, Foodie Beauty's the Muslim one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put
clips of her in my program.
That's the Chantel person, right?
Yeah, Chantel. Yeah.
I get her and Amberlynn Reed next up.
Oh, they're both fat white ladies, right? So
yes.
Yeah.
Dude, they're an archetype.
They are an archetype, yeah. Are they both dating like dudes outside of the US? That would be interesting. I don't know. I don't know what Amberlynn Reed is doing, honestly. Yeah, I think Foodie would probably take a lot of the hate better than Boogie would, actually. Because Boogie just like endlessly bitches, right? So
yeah. Is Nick gonna cover the Mama Max updates? Not particularly. If there's something big and there's a lot of something, maybe, but I can't imagine making 3 videos this year and all of them are on Mama Max.
I didn't realize Amberlynn's a lesbian. My bad. Amberlynn is a lesbian, and I sent you 2 giant paragraphs. She's in the middle of a feeder relationship drama right now. Really?
Oh, wait, just like... Never mind. It's a little too close to your community. I shouldn't
Wait,
make
what?
that
No,
joke.
Tell me. What were you going to say?
No, I shouldn't say that
Say
on here.
it. Say it.
Isn't Demon Mama in like a feeder relationship? I heard a rumor that Demon Mama and the like Demon Mama's feeding dough. Is that real?
I don't know enough to say.
I can't stress that this is a unverified rumor that I heard from Chud Logic.
Okay, I don't know.
Wait, maybe it wasn't Chud Logic. Oh no, I'm gonna get clipped. Like if she's not, sorry, preemptively. I just heard a rumor. I shouldn't have said this in your stream.
Amazing. You heard it here first, chat.
What is a feeder relationship? Go watch the clip of Boogie explaining his Thanksgiving on the H3 podcast. You'll wish you didn't.
I don't believe that his wife was in a feeder relationship with him or whatever. Is that what she said?
No, he had a girlfriend in a feeder relationship that filled herself with maraschino cherries.
Okay, that's a little bit weird, but...
Is that not the worst thing you've ever heard? Now listen to Boogie tell that story. You will die.
I just am surprised. I mean, I think it's crazy. Okay, what's crazy alone is like one night with Boogie made a sex worker quit that industry. Like, I just want to know what happened.
What am I doing with
my
life? No, I say no, and she left.
Well, I just want to know, like, there's no way it's just about him being fat, right? Like, no way would that cause a sex worker to leave, right? I mean, sex workers have to deal with gross people all the time. There has to be more there. Like, maybe he made her
Maybe
do
he
some
cried.
Maybe he cried. Maybe he has a yeast infection under like several of his folds. But also maybe he made her do some freaky shit that she didn't like.
Dude, he was here and he's like, "Welcome to the sub club."
Maybe. Hey, you want to put my $5 footlong in your mouth? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Ugh. Maybe he like made him. Maybe he like called her his mom's name or something.
Maybe.
Thinking of the
like
tap balls.
yeah. Like, can you yell at me about how worthless I am or whatever and scratch my face or I don't know. But something else had to happen. All I'm saying is something else had to happen there because there is no way. Like, sex workers literally have to deal with like the most gross people ever. You're telling me that Boogie was the one that tipped her over the edge? No, he made her do something that she did not like. I'm telling you, or some of those yeast infections were really bad.
Yeah, maybe. I just want to think the story of Boogie just making someone question their entire life and finding God is just perfect.
You know, it's kind of interesting. I wonder how like the conservative community would like feel about that. Would they think that like Boogie's like a hero? Probably not, actually. Probably not.
Dude, look at his girlfriend. They'd love him.
Yeah, his girlfriend who looks like she's like 15, right?
Yeah, that's the perfect age for Sneeko to say they should get married.
Okay, what drives me nuts? I just feel like I'm gonna lose my mind over the Sneeko stuff because he spreads like blatant misinformation saying that 16-year-olds are at the prime of their fertility is like, it's not even true. It's not true at all. It's like
I don't often Google 16-year-old fertility, so that's how he gets them.
Women in their mid-20s, that's when they're at their peak fertility, is in their mid-20s. And then like...
Isn't that like an old tale? Because like, that's when they used to date, when they were like 150 years ago.
Yeah, just because they used to do it doesn't mean that it's right.
Exactly.
Women between the ages of 10 and 19 have way more risk during their pregnancies than women who are older than them. So it's like really just, it's actually going to be a much more risky pregnancy at like 16 than it would be in their mid-20s. So he has no idea what he's talking about. There's like increased risk of like stillbirth too and all sorts of complications. Some women, if they give birth when they're too young, it damages them so much that they can't have kids later on in life. So yeah, I don't know, like it's just like complete misinformation. He's like reading from like a book from the Middle Ages or something. I don't know. So
yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. And he conflates the start of puberty with the finishing puberty. That's true as well.
The thing is, with Sneeko in particular, I've never been super locked in to know all the stuff going on with him. I kind of only hear from Willie and
yeah. No, I just hear about it. When I saw like the Moist Critical thing, I try to avoid him. But when I saw the Moist Critical thing, I just got like so irritated by it. And he's like, saying that people are at physical maturity when they go through puberty, which is also like just not right. People are still growing. So, I don't know.
I don't know, he's just a gross person. And the fact that he said stuff like that and Charlie got the brunt of it, that's kind of sad.
Wrong. Yeah, it's just wrong.
It's because everyone just expects him to get on like the internet and sound like a all the time.
Yeah. He even gets like, his defense of cuties doesn't even make any sense. Right? He's saying like, oh, it's about children going back to Islam. It's not. It was directed by a feminist. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
no,
it's just says everything wrong.
It's performative. All of it's performative.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know how you can like fake yourself for that long though.
Well, I don't think he's faking himself in general. I think if he was faking himself, he would have found an excuse to stay on YouTube. A person doesn't grift and then get banned and and lose half or 3/4 of their income. I don't think he's a grifter per se. But I do think it's like he at this point, knowing that he can't go back to YouTube and make all the money he was making before, I think he plays into it a little bit more and kind of exaggerates.
Yeah, maybe it's just like get the money that he can get while he can thing. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's good talk, good conversation. We should do this again. We should do this more often. We should bring in. Yeah. Because I miss doing that. That was super fun. Even like when we had like calls with people and it would just be like people saying the most like degenerate or stuff that would get like make me think I'm getting banned. It was just like a really good, it was like a good vibe, I feel. I think chat really liked that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I would definitely be down to do that again.
Yeah. Okay, well, have a good one, Nick. Thanks for
You
joining.
too.
I won't keep you too long, so yeah. I
No
appreciate you.
problem. Have a good one, buddy.
Thanks, you too. Bye. That was nice. Very nice of Nick to pop in. Yeah. Dude, Star needs to pick up Fortnite for that. Oh my god, dude. I'm not gonna play Fortnite. We used to play Phasmophobia. That was super fun. It's wild because when we played Phasmophobia, I feel like half the people we played with aren't in the community anymore, which is wild. Oh,